Thanks, Kendra. All right, about 30 more seconds just to give any last minute arrivals time to get in. Hello, Steve. All right, let's get rolling here. Good afternoon. Thank you all for joining today, Wednesday, June 15th. My name is Eric Lynn, Chief Commercial Officer at TLC Companies. And today is about compliance. And this is something that we see ourselves as a compliance partner for you, our carriers. And part of that is really around citations, safe driving, and real-time monitoring of activity. And so I'm joined today by the president of CDL Legal, Jake Sittler, who's going to take us through a demonstration of his solution, CDL Legal. And specifically, I'm really excited for the carriers in the meeting today is about Carrier Guard and really the value proposition that provides you on a daily basis. And there's a phrase we like to talk about, peace of mind. And we see this as a key component to your peace of mind. And we hope you get that here today. So with that, Jake, we'll kick it over to you.
Yeah, I really appreciate it, Eric. Thanks for having me on. Excited to show everybody what we have here. I think it's fairly unique in our industry, especially in the space that I'm in. So CDL Legal, we are a legal provider for trucking companies and truck drivers. You guys may have heard of truck drivers, kind of enrolling for like a prepaid legal benefit, maybe at the truck stop or through some other third party. We're set up a little bit different where we actually partner with carriers to provide visibility to what's going on that side of it. So drivers have a membership, they get tickets worked, maybe they have inspections they need help with, and they're using these other services, but the carrier has no idea what's going on. Well, we've came in to provide the visibility to carriers so that you know exactly what's going on with your driver citations. And then we provide you with a bunch of other cool compliance tools to help you just have a better idea of how your safety initiatives are going. So coming into this portal, we've labeled it Carrier Guard. It is a standalone product from CDL Legal. So we do have legal benefits offered through TLC that drivers can enroll for on payroll deduction. I think it's $796 a week out of their payroll. And then when they submit tickets to us, you'll have access to this portal and you'll be able to see what tickets are being submitted and then track those tickets on your drivers. But look, just to kind of dive into this, initially when you get access to the portal, you'll be able to log in, and on the front page is kind of your summary dashboard. And so you'll see.
Hey, Jake.
Yes, sir.
Jake, real quick. I think some people might, if you don't have the focus on content checked, please do so, because otherwise you might just see a lot of our beautiful faces. So if you go to the More tab with the three dots, go down to Focus on Content, that way you'll only see Jake's presentation, just FYI to the audience. Back to you, Jake.
All right, thanks a lot. So when you log into the portal, again, you're going to see this initial dashboard that says Carrier Summary. So this is kind of the overview of everything that's going on. You can see this particular carrier has 7 citations that are open. They have open court dates. We have 1 inspection that is associated with those citations. So typically when there's a citation associated with an inspection, we're also going to follow up with the to get the proper court documents to then file a data queue on your behalf to get it off your CSA score. Any citations associated with inspections, if they're fought in court, that is FMCSA does give you the ability to fight that and challenge that on your score. So if you're not doing that, that'd be very important for you to do. We also tell you ticket win rate. So tickets that were working for you, we tell you our win rate. Wins and losses. We're very transparent on what's going on. Active drivers that are on the plan, and then we start showing you a little bit about your own SMS data. So the data, your inspection data. So you can see violations that have happened over the last 60 days. So we're pulling this data straight from FMCSA. And so where this is really nice is we find that a lot of carriers find our portal is a lot easier to work with than FMCSA's portal. And the data is a lot easier and more actionable to digest. So last 60 days, you can see there's 27 violations. We also show you points rolling off at the beginning of next month. So there's 8 points coming off their scores. Clean inspections over the last 60 days. And then here's all your CSA scores.
Hey, Jake.
Yes, sir.
Question. So if we're running under FedEx's DOT, how would you pull the data for our specific company through FMCSA?
So if you're under FedEx's DOT, then that's FedEx's data, right? If you don't have your own DOT authority, I mean,
so this wouldn't really help us.
This particular part would not help you. The ticket tracking part may help you, okay. And I'll show you that here in a minute. So here, if you're operating under your own DOT, we're going to be able to pull in your CSA score. So unsafe driving, driver fitness, controlled substance, vehicle maintenance, hours of service, your crash indicator, and then also your ISS score. And we kind of track the ISS score for you. If you don't know what your ISS score is, that's something to know, because this is what determines how often you're going to get inspected when going through a weigh station. So it's important information to know. So, but this is just a general overview of kind of the health of all your safety initiatives and what's going on. For the sake of time, and we can dive into each one of these and see the data behind them. But we can there's a lot of data, a lot of data. So there'll be a lot of time going through all that, but so that you have an idea there. Up here in the top navigation, we have my drivers, my tickets and inspections, my SMS data, my SMS notify. Since you asked, Israel, I'll just jump to my tickets and inspections. So you may have drivers with tickets, and they're supposed to tell you, right? They're supposed to tell you when they get a ticket, but we find often that they don't. I always tell everybody, hey, sort this by date. So you've got your most recent tickets right on top. You can come in here, you can check it. Maybe you check it every few days, maybe check it once a week to see what tickets are coming in. Because if they have coverage, they're submitting it to us because they've got a pain. They're trying to take care of that pain. A lot of times they're trying to find, if they don't have coverage, they're trying to find coverage of their own, either finding an attorney and then you have no visibility to it. Here, it's really easy. They submit us a ticket, and you're going to see it right here. So you just click on that ticket record. We can see who that driver is. We can see what's going on here. This is a pretty big ticket. It's a hit and run, misdemeanor. That gets categorized as a reckless driving. There was an accident involved. We can see the date of the ticket. When the court date is, we can even see who the attorney is up here, right? You can even get in here and see a copy of the actual ticket itself. So it's all in there for you. There's a way to track this. We've talked to a lot of carriers that, drivers do report tickets, they submit it to them, and they're keeping track of all this stuff on a spreadsheet, or just different various ways that maybe aren't efficient. So just a great way to track what's going on. You know all the time what's going on. So it's helpful to kind of keep track of those court dates, and then without having a driver try to keep you updated, because a lot of times they may not know what's going on. So here's another example. Okay, we have a court date on 3/7. Okay, so it's past the court date. Well, we're still waiting on a new court date, and you can see that, and you can see we have a follow-up date in here of 6/22, because that's when either the court or the attorney has told us to follow up. So again, even though you go past the court date and maybe there's something out there, you have instant access to know what's going on. And again, you've got a copy of that ticket in there. Okay. I'm going to jump over to my SMS Notify real quick. Okay, so this is where, you've got inspections that are coming in. As soon as they hit your FMCSA portal, they're going to hit this portal as well. So you can see, new inspections that have happened, today, or hit the portal today. And then it kind of just gives you some historical, but allows you to see kind of maybe a more in-depth. You can get common offenders, who your common offenders are. That may or may not be important to you. You can drill down into all this, but then you can come down here and see all the details, right? And you can drill down in each one of these inspection reports. You can see who the driver is, violations, was there a citation or not. I'm going to just drill down into this report real quick, so you can see what type of inspection it was. It was a walk around. Okay, there's 2 violations. You see those violations there. Okay, all the information you'd want is right here. Also, anytime a new inspection comes in, it's going to be emailed to you. So you're going to get email alerts every day of any inspection that hits the portal. And then there'll be a link to that inspection that'll take you right in here so you can see what's going on. But again, it's all your data in one place. Jumping over here to my SMS data, this kind of gives you the 2-year historical. This has been really helpful for a lot of fleets that we work with, because now they can see exactly where they're trending, what the problems are, maybe things to go target and fix. So this first graph, you can see SMS total points by basic, so they can see, okay, May, I had some vehicle maintenance issues, had some unsafe driving issues. So in the point violation, or the point value associated with that. So if I want, I can drill down. And I can see what those violations were. I can also see points by state. So this particular carrier, okay, Missouri, there's a lot of purple here. Well, that's vehicle maintenance. And I can go click and drill down on this and go find out what the issues are in Missouri. And then that I can customize my communication to my drivers when they hit a particular state. It's just super helpful knowing when you're going into a state what the issues are and what your drivers are facing. So maybe it's a brake issue. Maybe this vehicle maintenance issue in Missouri, maybe it's brakes. Well, drivers, before you go into Missouri, we're getting hit on brakes. So make sure you're doing a mid-trip, and you're checking for this, and that, right? Maybe you're going to Kansas and it's a whole other situation. It's a whole other problem for vehicle maintenance. okay, if you go into Kansas, make sure you're looking at these things. Maybe it's so Kansas unsafe driving. Okay, well, if I'm getting hit for speeding or hit for whatever it may be, I'm communicating that to my drivers before they go into that. So I'm getting the information dispatch. They're getting it to the driver, and now I'm better prepared before I head into each state, and those drivers are less likely to get violations. If you go back to the main screen on this, this carrier is all in the green. They don't have any basic alerts. When we started with them a little over a year ago, they had 3. So they've been able to use this tool not only to mitigate some of the violations that they've had by fighting tickets and submitting data queues, but also to tailor information that they're getting into a communication to their drivers to better look out for certain things. So their safety initiatives have greatly improved because of the data. Again, when we start breaking it down by basic category, you can see unsafe driving here, first category. Going back to May, okay, well, what was it? Dangerous driving, speeding group 2. I want to look back into August, speeding group 4, dangerous driving. And again, I can drill down to any of these things and see what those inspections were along with the violations. Same thing with vehicle maintenance. Okay, I can drill down. I can see, okay, this last month there was 8 points for brakes, 12 for lighting, and 6 there was steering mechanism. Again, I can drill down on any of these things. So I see immediately a lot of red here. So there's some lighting stuff going on. So we got to pay attention to our lights on our trucks. Again, just good data to look at. It helps you figure out what to do and have a plan of attack. Again, that continues to go down. Hours of service, this carrier is doing really well, and driver fitness, again, no violations there. But yours may I've seen it where driver violation, it's there's driver fitness issues all over the place. Hours of service, every carrier is different.
Hey, Jake.
Yes, sir.
One question that I get quite often is, hey, why should I help my drivers fight tickets? It's their fault, right? So can you elaborate a little bit on the impact of the carrier by assisting with the ticket fighting?
Yeah, I mean, most of the time when they're getting citations over the road, there's also an inspection that goes with it. So a couple things. One, you want to be able to help them fight those tickets so that it helps your score, right? I mean, and then if you want to keep that driver, which I think in today's world we're all trying to keep drivers, not having those points on the MVR also makes an impact with your insurance. And then also, if you can keep a driver as opposed to letting them go, I mean, those are conversations we're having with carriers all the time. Hey, this driver got a citation and he's been violation free for the last 5 years. He's a really good driver. But this is a bad ticket. Okay, well, let's fight it. Don't let him go yet. Let's fight it and see what we can get done and keep it off his MVR. You can make any disciplinary actions outside of that. But if you want to keep them, keep it off the MVR, get it off your CSA score. Let us help you do that. And then look, lower CSA scores. That's going to help you get better loads, better lanes, especially now when the spot rate's kind of down. Shippers are looking at carriers that have some of the better safety scores. So you want to be on top on that. Drivers, they're hard to come by. Let's try to retain drivers as much as we can. Insurance costs, try to keep your insurance costs down. This all helps to mitigate some of those things. So fighting for your drivers, I think is always a good thing. Drivers feel valued when they have that. So a lot of benefit there.
Agreed. Hey, Jake, we got a question in the queue over here as well. And literally, it's Q. Can you discuss the data queue piece?
Yeah, so we have a staff of CSA experts that this is what they do. They file data queues. If you've got drivers enrolled for CDL legal and we find a citation associated with a ticket, FMCSA is court mandated by the court, that if the court makes a decision on a case, that FMCSA has to make a change to their record. So if a ticket is dismissed, we file a data queue, that violation comes completely off your CSA score. If it's reduced to a no point, then it'll be reduced to a 1 point on your CSA score. You still have the multiple, depending on how long the violation's been there. Within 6 months, it's still a multiple of 3. I believe it's 6 to 12. It's a multiple of 2, and then after that, it's just a 1 multiple. But any reduction, it just mitigates points off your record. If there's an inspection record without a citation that you feel has been maybe not right, or you've got proof that was a violation that was written in error, we also will file data queue challenges on those. Again, our staff can walk you through that, but we look at those one-on-one. It's sometimes DOT has a misinterpretation of their own regulations. That does happen. So we challenge them based on the regulations, or we can challenge based on some other circumstances, or if you have evidence that violation was incorrect. But the way you word those does matter, and we are very good at making sure those get worded the right way so that we get the best outcome possible. And again, and just to maybe add to this, so as TLC clients, your drivers get discounted rates on the legal membership through payroll. And then if with Carrier Guard as a standalone, there's a 20% off as a TLC customer on just the portal itself. But we took it a little bit further. If you're a TLC carrier with 5 drivers enrolled, minimum 5 drivers enrolled, you get this Carrier Guard at absolutely no cost. So you can literally get this for free with 5 drivers enrolled, and then your drivers are getting all the benefits from the legal protection.
Hey, Jake, we got another question. The queue, Stacy's on fire. Sure. What other benefits are there to the driver for having CDL legal beyond the obvious?
Well, so yeah, beyond the obvious, obviously the legal protection and that sort of thing. So the other items that we have, their spouse is covered at no cost. So that really works well with team drivers, right? If the husband and wife are driving, they can get covered for the same cost. But we also have where they get access to CDL legal member perks. There's over 300,000 discounts available to them. That's on just about anything: hotels, restaurants, gifts, entertainment. I know AMC Theaters is a popular one for drivers. They get 30% off there. Just on everyday stuff, the typical Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, holiday type stuff. The gifts and entertainment stuff really is popular with our drivers, where they get some pretty big discounts on flowers or gifts of some kind. So they get that. There's also roadside protection in any vehicle that they drive, so they get access to our roadside assistant network, and they get preferred rates on that. And that works in any vehicle that they drive. If you've already got something set up as a carrier, great, they can utilize it in their personal vehicles as well. Legal coverage also extends to their personal vehicle. So lots of benefits there. We've had stories of drivers that, they're across the country, spouse has a breakdown on the side of the road. They've got a quick number to call to help them get, roadside assistance. So there's certainly benefit there.
Good deal. And Stefan's got his hands raised on the screen there. Stefan, go ahead with your question.
Yeah, I don't know if you've answered this or not, but I didn't catch it, so I'd ask it anyways. Is this only what the company reports to you, or do you guys provide some type of NVR check along with some of the stuff that we do, or can that be met up in case they miss something, or in case, something's actually not reported by one of the drivers?
From a ticket standpoint, this is all any ticket that's in here has been sent to us from drivers. So yeah, that would, having a record of the ticket, a copy of the ticket, drivers are sending those in. Any of the inspection data, we're getting straight from FMCSA. So that is all up-to-date information. That is 100% of your data. And then we even send you email alerts. So we find a lot of carriers, they're not checking their FMCSA portal at all. That's fairly common. Instead of checking, let us tell you when there's an issue or when there's things that are happening. So we'll send you email notifications when inspections are happening.
Okay, cool. So it's just, except for obviously the stations where they're doing inspections, it is basically on the driver's onus to own up to those tickets or citations they might receive.
That's correct. But I can tell you that drivers that are enrolled are submitting to we haven't seen where drivers don't submit them, right? If they've got an option to alleviate the pain, they're submitting them.
Cool. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
We've got another question in the chat, Jake. Since the motor carrier benefits from having their drivers enrolled in CDL Legal, do you suggest we help contribute to monthly cost?
Yeah. As far as just subsidizing part of the membership?
I'm guessing, and I'm not sure who the we is. Steve, maybe you can verbalize or make that clear in the chat box.
Well, I can say we've had a few TLC customers that do pay part of the membership cost, and that's handled with TLC.
Motor carriers. That was his question. Motor carriers, Jake.
What's that again?
It's motor carriers. That's who the we is. That's who he's asking. Should
Okay.
motor carriers subsidize some of it?
Yep. We do have carriers that pay for 100% of it. That's actually becoming more and more popular, so that there is a 100% adoption rate. Typically, when carriers present this to their drivers and say this is a good thing, we have anywhere from 60 to 70% of the fleet that will enroll. If it's pushed very hard, 90%, and then really the times where we have 100% adoptions when the carrier actually pays for it. TLC carriers can work those details out with TLC.
Got it. And then Jim T., one of our guests today, you've got your hand raised. Please come off mute for your question. Jim T., I see your hand raised enthusiastically. All right. He's going to keep teasing us with his hand in the air there. I'll remove his hand. I think that's all the questions in the queue now. Jake, back to you.
Okay. And I'll just say, guys, if you are interested, we have, I'll show you that here in a second. If you go to cdllegal.com/carrier guard, you can also go to cdllegal.com and just under CDL services, go to CSA tracking. You can just scroll down to the end here. There's a video if you want to watch, kind of go back through some of the stuff that some of the points I just showed you. And then you can hit sign up, request info, however you want to do that. But if you go to sign up, when you're filling out your information, and here in the discount code box, you'll want to put in TLC20 to get the discounted rate. So make sure you do that. Also, if for TLC customers, your drivers have access to the legal benefits today, right now, they've got access. So if you go to cdllegal.com/TLC, your drivers can enroll right now. They've just come here, go to drivers, they can find out more, Actually, you could just give them this link even, the cdllegal.com /TLC-driver. That would work too. And they can sign up right here. And this would give them, as soon as they enroll, TLC gets a copy of that application. It comes right to CDL Legal, and then they'll be put on the next payroll deduction.
Jake, if you could you just copy and paste that link right there in the chat box? That way anybody can just easily download it. That'd be great. And then Stacy also informed us that the CDL Legal enrollment form is a DocuSign opportunity as well. We got set up. Cool. Perfect. Thanks.
Yeah. What other questions?
There's Jim T coming back in. I don't see any more in the queue right now, but Jim is coming back in, so maybe Jim will be able to ask that question when he gets back in the meeting here.
Sure.
Jim, are you live? Jim T?
Yeah.
Technical difficulties.
There
he is.
You can hear me. I had to rejoin. I disconnected. So my question was going back to the data queue. I'm actually, me and Israel partners, and about 95% of our fleet run under FedEx. But we have had in the past issues where there was a CSA where we were able to log in under FedEx's DOT, find the violation, and submit a data queue. Now, would even though your service will not be able to monitor those data queue or those CSAs because it's under FedEx, if we have one, would you be able to fight or use the data queue to appeal a violation if we find it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean that actually we experienced that with other fleets as well. We have some other all owner operator fleets that maybe have other companies that are leased to them. Maybe they've got 10, 15, 20 trucks. They're leased to them. And so we handle those. Yeah, you just wouldn't see it you just wouldn't be able to get that, see it in the portal.
Any other questions?
I would just maybe one other thing just to add real quick is really this the CEO of our company, Scott Shacklett, was the co-founder and CEO of a trucking company that went from 12 drivers to 500. So we built this with the understanding of hey, visibility is key to safety. And everybody here has been in trucking at some level, whether we've got dispatchers, we've got safety personnel, we've got a lot of folks here that have worked in trucking for a very long time. And so we understand. So even communicating with drivers, look, that's pretty much what everybody's done here for their career. And so your drivers are always handled appropriately. And we weren't a bunch of lawyers that thought this was a good idea. We were trucking transportation professionals that understand the legal side of this and legal and compliance side of trucking very well. And we've built a system to make sure that you guys have the necessary visibility that you need to effectively manage your fleet better. So check us out. We'd love to help you in any way we can.
Thanks for joining us, Jake. Appreciate that. And to the audience, thank you. I know everyone's busy. We're running around with their hair on fire, although I have no hair, if you can see me. But I appreciate you investing the time in risk, safety, compliance. That's part of our partnership together at TLC. So thank you. We'll have a copy of this webinar. So just that's one thing, Jake, maybe put your contact information in there in the chat box, if you don't mind. Just throw that in there.
Yeah.
And then we'll have this recorded. So if you want a copy of it, just let me know. Elyn@tlccompanies.com. That's ELYNN@tlccompanies.com, and I'll send you out the link. and Jake will put his contact information in that chat box. And there we go. Appreciate everyone's time. Be safe out there. Take care, all. Thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Thank
thanks,
you.
Barry.